the whole saga between Morocco, Senegal, and also CAF concerning the trophy that was awarded to Senegal in the 2025 Afcon. So the verdict is in and Morocco are being crowned the champions. And in this video, you will listen to deep explanations from the articles, the laws of CAF, and a whole lot of things. After that, we'll come back and talk more on this issue. So let's listen to in-depth discussions explaining the articles and also the Senegal forfeiting the match and Morocco being awarded the winners of the 2025 Afcon.
In that instance, the VAR didn't work. Now, there are stories that the referee already knew before the game and communicated to the two teams that the VAR didn't work and that work had no point because they already knew before the game the VAR didn't work and still accepted to play, blah, blah. But anyway, the VAR didn't work. And so he couldn't check. And WAC staged the walk-off. They said they will not play again. And after more than 2 hours, CAF officials came back onto the page and awarded the trophy to Esperance, declared them winners. Then the CAF Exco, not a disciplinary committee, the CAF Exco went to sit down and then ordered a replay of the game. Because apparently they were put under pressure by Fauzi Lekja, who is a member of the CAF Exco. And CAF Exco ordered a replay of the game. And Esperance appealed to the Court of Arbitration for Sport to say that there is no way we are replaying that game. And that the CAF ESCO has no jurisdiction and has no mandate to be able to make that decision. And that the right body to make the decision is the CAF Disciplinary Board. So the Court of Arbitration for Sport ordered CAF to let its right judicial body hear the matter. So they came back to the CAF Disciplinary Board, and the Disciplinary Board sat on the matter and then declared Esperance as winners and worked to have forfeited the match. WAC appealed, has lost the appeal as well at the CAF appeal body, and went all the way back to Court of Arbitration for Sport. And the Court of Arbitration for Sport upheld the decision of the CAF judicial bodies and said, yes, you left the game, you forfeited the match, you've lost the game. So Esperance champions of the CAF Champions League 2019. And that was how that matter died. So there's precedence and how CAF reacted. And if you look at the trajectory of that case itself, you can just tell that CAF didn't cover itself in glory. Because not only did they violate their own statute by not making the right judicial body hear the matter, it took the intervention of CAF for CAF to do the right thing. And so now that's where Senegal are headed, to seek redress at CAF. And it remains to be seen what CAF will make of this particular decision. These are the facts of the matter. These are the different nuances of the matter. And I'm sure there will be several perspectives and opinions from people. What I've presented, I've not necessarily shared opinion. I have my own opinion about this matter. But I've held on with the opinion just to give you a cleaner idea of what the real situation is with regard to this particular matter. So then, Sicho is here. Davien Rene has also joined. Felix is here as well. Sicho, you have taken sides. You say that you don't, Senegal, the law is the law. It doesn't matter that this happened 58 days after. The law is the law. If the right thing is done, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter who's involved. The law is the law. It has to apply. Whether after a year, after 2 years, once the right thing is done, you are okay with the right thing being done. So my question to you then is, based on your own understanding of everything that has gone on, why do you feel so strongly that this is the right decision?
Thank you for the question. Hello, good morning to everybody. It's a very lovely conversation to have. And I can understand how everybody feels about it because it's unusual. It doesn't happen in the sports, right? Barely happens that in a major competition like this, a team decides to walk off because, in their opinion, they are not happy with the referee's decision. But the laws were put in place so that such disgraceful acts wouldn't happen. So The one thing I like about this man, and one thing I want people to pay attention to is the processes Morocco followed. Because I've seen many people ask why CAF didn't stop the game right there and then award Morocco the trophy, and why did he have to take 2 months and everything. But then I'm going to explain why I agree with CAF and as I give thumbs up to Morocco. Now, here's the thing. And when you read that article 82, people are asking which part of that article did Senegal breach? And I'll come to all of that. But here's my flow of the conversation. All right. So Senegal, referee makes a decision on the pitch. And the referee says it's a penalty to Morocco. And Senegal says they are not playing the game again. So Senegal actually walk off the pitch and refuse to play. Senegal refused to play. Senegal abandoned the game. So when you read Article 82, Senegal did two things that is captured. They refuse, and when you explain the refusal to play, I didn't agree with you. The refusal to play doesn't mean you didn't start the game. Refusal to play cuts across the duration of the game. So refusal to play starts from if you got to the ground, one, if you got onto the pitch, if during the game you still refuse to play, and if you indeed ended the game. So if at any point in time in the game you refuse to play, Article 82 captures it. So it's not a matter of because I turned up for the game and I played 10 minutes and I decided that I won't continue the game for the next 15 minutes. I have not refused to play because I turned up for the game. No. At any point in time that you decide that you won't play the game again against the referee's decision, you have refused to play. And so they walked off the pitch, abandoned the game for a period. And within that period, the
Okay, but
referee
Sicho,
should have.
yes, hold on. Sicho, hold on. So on that matter, just so that you clarify and then you can go on. On
Yeah,
that matter
please.
of refusal to play,
Yeah.
the article doesn't specify a duration. So the
Hmm.
point I'm making is this: how do you differentiate between your appreciation or your understanding of the refusal to play? How do
Yeah.
you juxtapose that against Senegal's return to play? Because they came back to play and finished the game. So, how do
Senegal.
you then
Yeah.
say they refused to play when they came back, played the rest of the match, and finished it? Because the article doesn't say
Okay.
if you refuse to play for a period. It says refuse to play, which means that, which suggests that your
Yeah.
refusal to play led to an inconclusion of the match. But
Not
Senegal
necessarily. Not,
didn't
not
do that.
necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to lead to the inconclusion of the game. Senegal
That if you,
refused to play
but
the
hold on,
game
if you
against the
refuse to
referees.
play, if you
Yeah.
refuse to play, then
Yeah.
then there was no game. So
No,
if
hang
we
on.
are
Hang
going
on.
by it, if
Are
you
you
refuse to
suggesting?
play,
Are
then
you
one more.
suggesting? No, 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 no. That's not the point. Are you suggesting that any team can come to the pitch, play for 5 minutes, decide to walk off the pitch, get to the dressing room for the next 30 minutes, and return to finish the game? Are you suggesting
No,
a team can
they
play? Wait,
can't
wait, wait.
do
Hang on,
that.
hang on, hang
No,
on.
hold on.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
they
hang on.
can't do that. But if
Yes,
they
but they
do,
did.
hold on,
But
they
Senegal
can't
did.
do that. But if they do, they can't do that. But if they do,
Yes. They have refused. They have
no, no,
refused. You see,
I'm
no,
saying that
no.
if they do, and the matter
Yes.
goes to the court of arbitration for sport, are you saying that the lawyers for that team can't have an argument to say there's nowhere that
No, no,
it
no.
says that?
No, they can argue that out. They can absolutely argue that
Okay,
out. And
fair
it'll
enough.
be
So you
interesting to see.
continue
I'm
from
just saying, yes, they can argue that
yes.
out. And it'll be interesting to see how Senegal argues that. What I'm saying is, it is unacceptable for any team to walk in back into the dressing room without the referee sanction and decide whenever they like to turn up and play the game. So they and that is so when so the rule says many things about that. It says abandons the game, leaves the ground before the end of the game, refuses to play, and blah 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 blah. And the team actually walked off the pitch and refused to play for a period of time, and they returned to the pitch. When they returned to the pitch, the referee should have. But the time they walked off the pitch, the referee at some point should have stopped the game there, declared a forfeiture, awarded 3 goals to Morocco, and declared Morocco as champions. So the referee didn't do that. But this is where I respect Morocco. Because Morocco could have right there on the pitch protested and also said that because they had forfeited, Senegal had forfeited the game, they would also not continue because of forfeiture. But once the referee allowed Senegal back to the game, Morocco then had to respect the referee decision and play by the rules, knowing that they would have an opportunity to appeal. And so I use the same scenario for the red card incident. It doesn't amount to the same outcomes, but the processes are the same. When a team has been given a wrong red card, the team continues to play with a man down. After the game, they've got the right to go and protest. And that is what Morocco did. They knew Senegal had forfeited the game, but once the referee had allowed them to come back, all they could do was to play and take the matter up later. And that is what Morocco did. So for those who are asking that why didn't the CAF, the referee, didn't the referee know the rule? The referee might have made this mistake. But Morocco knew what they were going to do afterwards. And here's the thing. For me, for me, it shouldn't. You see, we are people who always like to say that the laws don't bite. That is why people are doing all the mistakes in this part of the continent. Our laws are not stringent enough. People get away with things. Yet, when these laws come to bite, then we are like, oh, it's harsh. Oh, my point is, what Senegal did is the most disgraceful thing I've seen at any level of football. It's the worst. Nobody should talk to me about the referee decision because across the globe, around the world, referees make mistakes. But for a team to walk off the pitch is 100% unacceptable. I've never seen that at the highest level of football like this before. So I have no sympathy for Senegal. Now, this is where the people miss, and you rightly stated it. Health disciplinary committee, having seen the game, realized that people had to be punished. So they brought out their ruling to punish people and fine them and everything. What they didn't tackle was the fact that Senegal had forfeited the game in the final. So Morocco then went to the appeals committee to appeal that article. That listen, aside everything else that the DC mentioned, we are appealing it because there was a forfeiture they didn't tackle. So here's the thing: people need to understand that the disciplinary committee made their ruling 2 days after, which was within the time frame Morocco could appeal. Morocco appealed. Now, in matters like this, there has to be a hearing, lawyers have to make their cases. It's almost like you've gone to the courts. So you didn't expect it to come out in 2 days, in 3 days, in 1 week. So the fact that it's come out around this time doesn't mean that it's kept too long. If you understand the nature of these cases, it can take